providing for. So with all the jobs that we're doing inside here, we can currently service it with what we have here. Okay, so it's basically lathes here, a few lathes. I'll be working on a few lathes, few drilling machines. Like I said, this is opportunity that we actually gave to a lot of youngsters here from Kietmans that qualified themselves now as artisans with these machines that we have here now. So it's just amazing, that we can bring so much opportunity to the town and to the people, or not only to the town, to the region. I mean, our late president, like I said earlier, his dream was to make things happen in the Karas region, and we can actually see that things are starting to happen here in the Karas.
That's true.
Okay, sorry, Graham.
No problem.
No
problem.
Okay.
Okay. The rubber shredding is for me a new one. Okay, but a very interesting project. And very close to my heart of this one is that it's 100% recyclable. So we're taking rubber, which has become a challenge in the world, we can say. We're shredding it and we're using it for fuel. Okay, so that is a very, very interesting.
What happened here was, like you can see next door, I mean, rubber's piling up big time. The beers changed port from South Africa. Sorry, maar jy het gevraagd het om
No,
You're right.
already answered.
Okay. So they changed port from Port Nola to Namibia. That actually brought a lot of opportunities. I mean, we're so grateful for what they've done. So COVID had these good things as well. They were actually forced to make it happen quicker when COVID eventually happened. But that brought so much opportunities with it. I mean, like I said earlier, waste is not just waste. Waste is opportunity if you open your eyes and just think of it out of the box. They came to us and they said, listen here, we're sitting with this problem. We need to look at a solution. Okay, and us being not so familiar or exposed to working with that type of waste, we went out and did a little bit of homework, and then eventually we got hold of these machines down in South Africa. So basically what they do is, they can shred the rubber up to, shred and granulate the rubber up to a floatable size that they can use in a burner. Okay, so then we went to guys like Rongo and we spoke to them and we said, listen here, we can shred this, we can granulate this, but we need to burn it somewhere. Can you guys maybe burn this? Because they've got state-of-the-art burner down there, but they can actually use anything. They use from wood chippings to oil to HMO, rubber, foam, anything they can burn in it. Anything that can actually create energy, they can burn in that burners, in those burners. So we took the samples, or we can just take you to the samples now. What we did was, everything is now, you need to do it by hand. Can you explain to my I approach the whole time, because you've got wear and you've got impact, okay? And then obviously you need to look at strains, with pressure that you're blowing with and so on. So what they do is they redesign the whole time. And when they redesign, you've got more rope coming into the rubber, which makes it more difficult to process, all right? But what we do is we take the parts, we cut it into these usable, handleable sizes, and then we take these pieces and we put it through the shredder. From the shredder, you get this size here. Maybe I can send this around, and you guys can see it. Into the size like that, and then from there, those pieces we put through the granulator again, and then it brings it to this size here. So it's much smaller size, between 8 millimeters to 10 millimeters, floatable size. But with that, there's a lot of rope still in it as well. Then we need to take it and clean it like we used to do it with gold in the old days, and take the rope out, rope one side, and then the rubber on the one side. And those rubber, we bag, and when we need to drive up to the north to go and collect oil again, we make provision for 4 tons so that we can actually load that rubber and take it to them. They use it again, they burn it, and it's energy that they're creating. But we're not charging the BS for extra transport and stuff, because we have to drive up there to go and collect the oil, But, I mean, it creates opportunity here for a few guys. We're solving a problem for Dep Marine, which is a partner in our business. We see them as partners, we don't see them as clients. And we're creating opportunity for the people in the community, at the same time. So that's waar hierdie rubber gaan. That's what the rubber is all about, the foam is about. So I don't know if you guys have any questions on that. But like I said, waste, if you think a bit further and you apply a little bit of mind, you can actually create opportunity out of that. Okay, so hopelijk is die besige manne wat hier is, los ons 'n probleempie wel en op, we're solving a bit of their problems, you know, with rubber and stuff piling up here on the side. Okay.
And the capacity van hierdie
We just see what we do now. We're looking at about 35 ton on 4 weeks.
okay.
So we started with small machines. There's bigger units in place. We just wanted to trial and error first, see if it works. You know how feasible it is actually, and then obviously we will start reinvesting. But we saw now it's working. We just got feedback from Orongo as well. It's working for them.
And it's like a pilot project.
Pilot project for us, yeah. So if we do the drying plant on that side, we want to actually invest in bigger units as well. That side that we can handle the rubber. Because they're looking at now means and ways that they can actually bring some of the pipes laying currently in Port Nolloth to Lüderitz as well, that we can handle it for this side. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's opportunity coming still on top of it. Yeah. Thank you. So this is our machine shop and the small little plant that we have here. We just created 12 job opportunities through this now for local guys here in town. 12 job opportunities for people that can actually provide for their families through this.
Great stuff, great stuff, great stuff.
Any questions on this? Guys are dry one, guys are good. Become a last president. Okay, so this is
Oh,
I just spoke about foam now, and I spoke about rubber. So the foam part that we have here is actually between the outside layer and the inside layer of the pipe. So there's 3 sections in that pipe. You've got like the outside cover, which is pure rubber. Then you've got the floatable piece on the inside between the 2 layers of rubber. And then you've got the reinforced rubber on the inside. But the foam also needs to be disposed. Okay, so the foam we can actually just put through the granulator. We don't need to shred it. It's actually a plus. But the foam can also be burned by Orongo. It's just a little bit less energy than the rubber because the rubber burns a little bit longer. Okay, but we dispose this as well. Okay. This is all sections and pieces of that. You can imagine how much rope we generate out of this. Yeah. Okay, so this is the foam that I was referring to. So this is being back now and it's ready to go to Orongo. You know, so that's what I was referring to earlier. The logistics that we have currently to our veil makes it so much easier to service these guys. You know, so what we do is once they're back and we load our oil and stuff that we need to transport back to Windhoek or to the north, we just load additional bag or 2 of this stuff with and then we go offload it there by Orongo. This is the rubber. You can see how much, you can see how much rope or nylon we have between this. So this still needs to be sorted. Yeah.
And then what happens with the rope? Also
We burn it here. Also burn. Yeah, we burn it here. Luckily we don't have to take the rope. That can actually be disposed here. Yeah. We have processes in place for that here. Okay, that's it on this side. So we can go over here.
oh, Derek, I did not put you inside, so I watched.
Okay, so back then, when we started here, we had our waste facilities and our engineering facilities, everything in one yard. So you can imagine a guy from Total walking in here and I need to tell him, listen, I'm compliant with all safety rules and regulations, but then I have a high burnable product standing here in the yard and I do engineering works here on the one side, and then I tell people I sell this oil as a fuel somewhere, and then I grid blast here and everything is full of dust. So it didn't make sense, you know. So fortunately we got all of that piece of land on the other side of the road. So we can make the separation between the two PTYs now. So waste is operating on the one side, and then we have engineering here on the other side. It makes us just a little bit more compliant, you know. So if the BS walks in here and they want to audit me, or Total walk in here, or anybody walk in and you want to audit us, we're a little bit more compliant. Okay. All right. Think makes sense, huh? Yeah. Okay. So what we do have here. Obi, miskien tayo lang ko i-post ko pa. Obi. Toma. Ikaw lang na ito yung wapak pa. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, this is our blasting facility that we have here. I think it's the only blasting facility here in Lüderitz currently. Okay, so if we do any repairs, and if you do any testing on the repairs that you do, you need to do well tests, and you need to have access to these wells, and you need to have access to a lot of damaged parts before you can do anything. And the only way that you can get access to that is to either sandblast or grit blast. Now, back in the day, we used to do sandblasting. And with sandblasting, it became an environmental challenge, you know, so on the docks that we actually worked at. And then eventually people went to grit blasting, and nowadays it's hydroblasting. It's not grit blasting anymore. So we're actually moving in that direction. Eventually we'll get to that. So what we do here is the piece of, if I can maybe just ask you media guys not to take too many pictures here. This is actually items from the beer side that we're dealing with. If you guys can come in here, then I can show you quickly. I'll show you the final production that side now, just to give you an idea of what we're doing. You can maybe just stand closer here. So this is a typical mining tool. Exactly the same solution. It was than what we got here. Now, in the old days, the BSN would send all these boxes in South Africa to get them repaired. They used to bring technicians in from South Africa to come and actually do these repairs for them offshore. So between Graham and the rest of the engineering team, they actually got a lot of these youngsters to a position with some old hands where we can actually firstly repair the boxes and we can build new boxes for them as well. These classifieds laying over here is also part of the ADS2 that they mined. These things were back in the day all fabricated in South Africa. We fabricating it here in Lüderitz now. Lüderitz, Mr. Mayor. So the specialty, what is the specialty? Specialty. It's qualified people we have here locally now available to actually do this down there. Okay, again, wear and impact materials is what we specialize in. So you need to understand the concept between the two things to actually do this type of work down here. So a lot of these materials, you can't really put excessive heat on it when you supply some of these parts. We do have CNC water jet cutters that can do a lot of these cutting. We cut up to 100mm plus with water and sand in on our CNC machines that we supply, to them. Because a lot of these paradise and lux and stuff that we put on these boxes can't really get any heat distortions on them because it makes it weak. Okay, so we have to invest in these special tools and items. We can't go and put now in Lüderitz in Inauguration and Malpas the same thing because it's quite expensive. So we do that in Malpas and then we just send it up here because our trucks are running up and down the road. Okay, so if you want all these nitty-gritty things, special things that you see here, we're doing it locally here now between Lüderitz and office. We can actually service all these needs of everybody. So I'm really grateful for TechMarine for the opportunity that they granted us as a local company. We're 100% Namibian. We're not South African, we're 100% Namibian, proudly Namibian, and we're developing our people, our youngsters for the next generation to come.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is the tools. These are all kind of CNC machines, that size. You take that box as it is there, you strip the whole thing, identify all the repairs we need to do, we manufacture the parts that we need to put on it, and then we reassemble the whole thing according to class and the demands and processes and procedures that comes with it. This tool, once it's reassembled, we do a quality check. Once that's done, we do the handover processes to the VS, they store it in the yard there, and then from there, they take it back to the vessel. Now, not all the mining tools can come from a vessel because of crane restrictions and accessibilities that they have. So some of these boxes needs to be overall offshore. So the same type of
Mr. Primus. Good. How is it? Still around. Still around also.
I've also got a
All right, there it is. The inauguration, or the official inauguration of the WESCO group, Lüderitz Depot, or Lüderitz office and depot side. That was it. Thank you for tuning in. This is Karas Media House coming to you live. Thank you for tuning in.